The Supreme Court has overturned Roe v. Wade. How do you feel? I grew up in the Bible Belt, and overturning Roe v. Wade was one of the most prominent talking points from politicians campaigning in the area. The dog caught the car. I didn't think it would happen. What will they run on now? I'm kind of afraid to find out. No abortion, no health care, no maternity leave, no affordable housing, school violence, police authorities with too much power and close to zero control and responsibility. Lobbying. America feels like a premium third world. Why aren't millennial having kids? S. Why have 3 kids and no avocado toast, when I can have 3 avocado toasts and no kids? PFFT. 3 avocado toast is the unrealistic dream of the bourgeoisie. Best we can do is 1 avocado toast and a PBR in this economy. You have any idea how expensive avocados are right now? The average citizen has toast with a sprinkle of salt on it, nowadays. You guys have bread? As a healthcare worker, this is going to be a ducking nightmare. I'm legitimately scared about what ends people will go to without safe options for birth control. Our healthcare system is stretched thin as is, and emergency medicine is a rubber band barely holding it together. I don't like the implications of how this can potentially break something so damn fragile, especially after the fallout of the COVID pandemic. Our current government does not believe healthcare is a right. The older I get, the more I find out that friends have had abortions. And they are for heartbreaking reasons. Yes, they are way more common than people think. Nobody enjoys talking about their abortions, but us having gone through dilation eviction because the fetus was dead made us much more aware. Set back the entire country 50 years plus for the worst of reasons. And more to come. It's a real ducking shame is what it is. What's crazy is that conservatives who have gone through this themselves or with an immediate family member still vote against it because they believe the propaganda about the sorts of abortions other people are getting and see themselves as rare exceptions. The only moral abortion is my abortion. JoyceArthur.com. Maybe ducked up to say, but am glad my women's march, protesting, social justice fighting, feminist mother isn't alive to see this. These were almost verbatim what my own mother said about my grandmother 10 minutes ago. It's heartbreaking, but I agree. My very conservative grandmother hated abortions with a passion, but as a nurse she knew they were necessary. She saw what happened when young women did it themselves because they didn't have another option. That's why she supported them, not because she believed they were moral, but because she believed it was better than the alternative. God damn, imagine a modern-day Republican doing that. Being personally against something but seeing the value in still allowing others to do it. I hear her. I'm pro-choice because I'm pro-life. Abortion is a sad thing to see to me. I personally do believe life can begin very early on. But goddamn, that makes me even more pro-choice because I want everyone to make that choice if they want to become a parent. I want those children to not suffer in life. I don't want women to risk unsafe procedures. The alternative is here now, and it's scary. Edit, thanks to those who awarded me. I've donated $100 to several pro-choice organizations. Match me. I want everyone to make that choice if they want to become a parent. I want those children to not suffer in life. My wife worked in public mental health for a long time, and so many kids go through the system were basically not planned or wanted, and to parents who were not financially or emotionally ready. And this is in a blue state where abortion is totally legal. Poverty and religion were the biggest obstacles to these women to accessing abortions. I also have heard all my life that I'll be more pro-life when I have kids of my own. After having 3 kids, nothing is further from the truth. I was in my mid-30s, financially stable in a good marriage, and having kids is the hardest thing I've ever done. I've gone from simply pro-choice to actively pro-abortion, meaning I want it viewed as a standard medical procedure. It's not something you go to a special abortion clinic for, it's something you can get drugs at a pharmacy for, or have a procedure at an OB/GYN. Oh yeah, I think nearly or more than half of all pregnancies are unplanned. I work in health services in Iki for the most at-risk children, and am also in a blue-purple state, but a good chunk of our families are ones who aren't or weren't in a financial or emotional place to have children. I don't have any kids, but I want to. And I think people forget being pro-choice is also choosing to have children. I don't want a government that tells me I can only stop at 1 child or I can only have it at a certain age. It's a slippery slope. Everything is ducking crazy. This will not stop abortions. This will stop safe abortions. Edit, why am I getting all these replies about gun control? You say this as if they might care lol. If you die from an unsafe abortion, it's a win-win for them. Almost like they're not truly pro-life. While not American, I'll be watching the aftermath unfolding with some anxiety. This flavor of insanity is often contagious. That's how I feel as a Canadian. I don't want this doctrine to spread north. I hear you too. Canada needs to ironclad codify the things like this before it's too late. I don't know if Canada will go down that path or not. We seem to be distancing ourselves from America more and more lately, but the fact remains that they influence us more than any other nation. Last month there was a lot of talk about how Canada is nowhere near as hostile to abortion as America, but that's no reason not to enshrine it properly now. Two of our biggest parties are openly in favor of abortion, but the Liberals seem to be pretty carefree about it with an attitude of, oh, it'll be fine, don't worry about it. The Tories are mostly keeping quiet, but I know my family, and if they could say it out loud like in America, they would. I don't want to wait until they feel comfortable to oppose it. Oh, it'll be fine, don't worry about it. That's how the US got in this mess. Indeed, I don't want Canadian apathy, TM, to happen on this. So mad we never got that election reform. As I understand it, however, there is a particularly unique American political philosophy that Canada does not share, though I worry the overwhelming cacophony of American media is making Canadians think otherwise some. Simply put, though, the role of government as enshrined in our own Constitution is fundamentally different from the US, and while this is not discussed much, it's an undercurrent through every piece of legislature and political procedure we have here, and while I'm not naive, I'm not losing hope. Just hoping the pro-lifers out there are making space in their homes for all the kids they plan on adopting. I feel terribly sorry for the waves of unwanted children that are forthcoming. Yeah, can't wait. Our system can't handle the unwanted children we already have. Sick. My friend had 3 miscarriages this year, 2 of which required abortions for her health and future fertility. Women and babies will die. People will lose mothers, wives, girlfriends, daughters, granddaughters, the list goes on. More children will be born only to be abused and neglected. The fallout will be more wide-ranging and insidious than we can even anticipate. I'm also violently angry. I'm genuinely confused. Are non-viable pregnancies that require abortions not going to be legal in certain states because of this? Do they expect the mother to just die? Missouri already tried passing a law that would stop the termination of ectopic pregnancies, a condition that if left untreated is fatal. This is what pisses me off. Roe and Wade was pretty damn perfect to me, as a Christian. Abortions allowed for the first few trimesters but not third unless it's for the woman's life. Duck, this was an agreed stance back in the 50s and 60s when the country was more religious. The understanding, from those who I've spoken with, of the time was that abortion isn't generally a good thing, but it's necessary to protect women. I'd agree with you that we were more religious. Religion doesn't matter now to these politicians and is nothing more than a scapegoat. Those in charge on the right have gotten more radical. I think I'm having a panic attack. I was just told my pregnancy isn't likely to be viable at the end of last week, but there is still a heartbeat. I don't know what this is going to change for me in literally the next few days. I have an appointment at 1 to help determine if we need to terminate it, but now I'm not sure what options I have. I am so scared and angry. If you think only women are affected by the abortion ban, you are wrong. Forcing babies into poverty will only increase crime rates because children and adults of low economic status have more incentive to join gangs and commit crimes. Imagine trying to buy a house or get a job with all of the extra competition in this fucking economy. Imagine trying to have a kid with your wife, but there are medical complications which make your fetus non-viable, requiring an abortion, and she dies for no reason. People you know personally will be affected and may die or suffer immensely as a result. This affects the entire country in a very negative way. You might think this won't affect you because most of us never lived in a reality where abortion was banned federally. All it takes is bad luck for it to affect you. It's just the start. Clarence Thomas wrote today that contraception and gay marriage are next. The court is giving you guns but taking away everything else. As someone with a background in history, banning everything but weapons in a nation with a large underclass that feels they have no future and nothing to lose and already has a problem with persistent acts of terrorism is well, Let's just say, interesting move. This was my first comment regarding the SCOTUS decisions these last couple days. So you guys are expanding gun rights while simultaneously taking away everyone's civil rights that are widely popular? Chuckles, you're in danger.